Good morning and a warm welcome to each one of you who have joined with us for this webinar here today. Our topic for the day is the future of 3D printing in the textile industry. As you might be aware, the textile industry is the third largest consumer of water in the world due to the unsustainable need to continuously water cotton crops. It is a large threat to the environment and a solution is needed. Some believe 3D printing is a way to fix this. Although in its infancy, the field of 3D printed fabrics has already shown a lot of potential. Even NASA has taken an interest, and researchers are getting close to bringing some 3D printed fabrics to consumers. 3D printing not only provides a solution to the environmental crisis caused by the textile industry, but it also has opened many new doors for the textile scientist. And I'm delighted to say that we have three eminent personalities joining with us today to discuss about this most promising applications of this technology, which is 3D printing in the textile industry.
Hi everyone, a warm welcome to all who joined for this webinar here. First of all, appreciation to you all in stepping forward to make this lockdown period a productive one, being at home by learning. So, we all undoubtedly remember the year 2020 as the year of pandemic, but for the people like us who join here, the engineers, engineering professionals, even for the healthcare people, this year is taking an another phase, that is, I would say, 3D printing year. Yeah, though 3D printing industry is in existence for a long time, this field in recent days has made manufacturing more accessible for the common man. I hope you all will agree with me. Yeah, as we know right now, around the world, 3D printing in a common man eye is a stopgap supply chain solution for PPE and other needful products for this pandemic phase. So, we Insta3D Technologies, as a trusted partner by several leading manufacturers, groundbreaking designers, makers, thinkers, we always focused on spreading awareness about the technology and help Indian engineering to gain more knowledge. We Insta3D Technologies is fueling the next generation projects of innovation through our work in various fields which include automotive, industries, medical field, architecture, engineering and education. Being a successful enterprise in this field, we focus on proactive and creative learning process. Well, we have framed this session in that way. Let's get into the session now.
Hi everyone, we welcome you all to this webinar on 3D printing, an innovative tool to empower students. We Insta3D is a firm involving engineers, creators, makers, and we work as a team with the aim of reaching 3D printing technology to everyone. Briefly, we support colleges, industries, and various startups to set up 3D printers and other accessories, provide complete training so that they can excel in their career. In Seed, it's a digital transformation platform from Insta3D Technologies where one can gain knowledge on 3D printing technologies available, newer versions of 3D printers, and its accessories. This webinar in particular is meant to explain how 3D printing acts as an innovative tool to empower students. Firstly, I would like to mention every student is creative and their creativity is hidden in them. It can be shown only through a tool, and I would say 3D printing is such a tool to support every student. For example, a student doing their project can rely on 3D printing technology to bring their ideas to life. If we see institutes abroad, they have started implementing 3D printers in their classrooms, which makes every student to involve in a practical learning approach, and it enhances their creativity and knowledge. In today's outcome-based curriculum approach, to enhance your problem-solving skills, I would say start 3D printing now and experience the different dimensions of creativity. Hope you will have a good webinar session. Thank you.
Hello, a very happy morning to everyone. Hope you and your guys and your families are safe and sound. And I also thank Insta3D and Avilashi Lingam Institute for Higher Education for Women for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with some of the bright textile engineers like you. And to start with, let me introduce myself. My name is Shankara Narayanan and I'm basically a textile engineer, and I work for a company called KOB Medical Textiles, which is a German-based multinational company in the field of healthcare, and they are the pioneer in the elastic bandages. So at KOB, I take care of design and development of medical textiles with a special focus on elastic bandages. And this is about short introduction about myself. And today I would like to share some insights and the potential uses of the emerging technology called 3D printing. And we will also discuss some of the potential uses of the applications of 3D printing into the textile industry. So just before let's dive into the topic of 3D printing, I would like to request you to think about for a moment, when we talk about 3D printing, what does it come to your mind? For example, how could you describe it? Okay, so I would like to have an example for you. If you use an inkjet printer and you print out an alphabet, for example A, and look closely to it, it doesn't stain the paper, right? And it just sits on the paper. And imagine that the alphabet is sitting one by one and it is making into a three-dimensional shape. That's what we call about 3D printing. So in 3D printing technology, the same phenomenon works where a binder material is deposited on a bed and then it makes a layer by layer, eventually growing into a 3D object. This is perhaps a very simple explanation about how a 3D printing works. Okay, so the point number 2, which is a very prominent question, is how does it relevant to a textile engineers like us? So before that, let me give you some important fact about the industry. Did you know that 80% of the textile goes into the landfill? See, there are plenty of environmental data that exists to focus on what happens to the clothing at the end of the life. For example, there are so many studies which are focusing on the disposable biodegradability of the textiles, but there is very few attempts to change that scenario into a very sustainable environment. So 3D printing is one of the most important technology that can really change this scenario. That's what we are going to discuss in this session. So at the manufacturing level, if you look at a large amount of usable materials are getting wasted, and if you look at a garment, especially a garment production, from the fabric cutting during production, and then there is a mass produced clothing that often goes unsold. So one such possibility to textile industry is the 3D printing. So let's start defining the 3D printing. So what do you mean by 3D printing? 3D printing is a rapidly emerging manufacturing technology, and it is a collective form of all processes that can form a 3D product, okay, by means of adding material. It is most commonly known as a rapid prototyping, which means an RP. It is used to create a three-dimensional model as a part of a product, providing 3D visualization. When compared to conventional producing methods, the prototyping can be used to manufacture the product of the prototype easily, rapidly, and then inexpensively. So this is perhaps the most important technology that is beneficial to us in terms of its naval uses. So what are the potential uses? There are so many potential uses across many industries like automotive, aerospace industries, military and medical applications, and textiles. And this session we are specifically focusing on the textile uses. Okay, so point number 1, what are the benefits? Let's discuss now. The point number 1 is quick and viability. So the prototyping has an obvious use of vehicle for visualization and an opportunity to test the efficiency of a part of a product design before it is manufactured in large quantities. Take for example in textile, if you take in a garment production scenario, the buyer is giving you a design, and then for this design you are making a small trial by sourcing the real raw material and then doing the production by yourself and then making into it and test it, and then you give it to the buyer, and then when the buyer changes something into this product and then it goes back again to you, and then you have to make the changes. So there are two main aspects involved in this entire process. One is the time involved in doing all these trials, and number 2 is the cost involved in doing such prototyping before even getting the buyer's contract. So these are the two problems which we are currently facing, which can be easily eliminated by the 3D printing, because with the 3D printing you are able to make a rapid prototyping with a very quick time simulation of the idea which is given by the buyer. By this way, you can reduce the cost as well as you can shrink the entire timeline of the development trials before accepting the contract. Okay, now let's talk about the second most important potential uses of a 3D printing into the field of textile, which is fashion, right? I think in the fashion world, this is especially relevant to countries like India, where there is a large population of fan following to the entertainment media. Okay, so I think this is very relevant to the fashion textiles, where a lot of customization is very important for the modeling, right? And if you look at the clothing life cycle of a fashion industry, they try to make a unique clothing and then they design it and then they suitably do the production and then they wear it for a fashion show and then this is mainly discarded. And if you look at the growth of the fashion field, there are a lot of garments which are ultimately getting discarded with a lot of efforts which are made already into the work. Okay, so here especially the 3D printing really works fine with the rapid prototyping and with some quick simulation techniques. The garments can be easily done, manufactured using a 3D printing technology, and then these 3D printed garments can be a very useful tool during the fashion show, and then later it can be discarded. And if you look at the traditional textile process such as pattern cutting and sewing textiles together, which is taking large amount of time, while the fashion world is really crazy about a shorter timeline with pressing deadlines for the fashion shows. So this is where the 3D printing really helpful to replace the traditional production methods. And just to take a classic example, which is a very real life examples from our everyday life, I think everybody loves apparel, to buy apparels, right? And just to take an example, if you go to a Brookfield mall and you enter into any shopper stop or Spencer's Johnson's or Reliance Trends, and you go to the stop and then you pick any apparel and then you see the size and color and shape and everything, and then you decide and then you go for a trial and then you come back, and then if the size doesn't fit in, you don't take it and then you go out. So essentially these stores are run by a large mass production approach. They pick certain designs and certain shapes based on the prediction surveys, and then they try to produce the garments and then they store it into the stores. Okay, when the user comes, they never know whether the user will like it or not, and they have to essentially go with a small, medium, large, XL. But many times the sizes doesn't fit in between S and M and M and L. This is a typical problem that we face today setting, right? With respect to the 3D printing application here, Adidas has done a pioneering and a breakthrough example, which is called the store concept of the future, and they especially call it as a name, the Knit for You store, which means you go to this store, okay, and it's based in London, and you go to this store and they have a sensors and the body scan setup, and then it will scan your entire body, and then you pick a cloth, and then this scanning will give lot of 3D dimension, exact precise 3D dimensions of your body to the computer, and then you pick the apparel and you give it to the retailer, and he is able to give you a perfect, a well draped garment. And in this process there is no design and development involved at the back end. The design and development is done real time when the user is entered to the shop, and then all this is done when the choice is actually picked. So this essentially reduces a lot of wastages. So this is something really interesting to go forward. Okay, and third most important component, okay, is the sustainability. The possibility of eliminating the wastages. With the growing sense of globalization and the fast developing economies, the countries are increasingly polluting the world worse than ever before. We largely consume things we don't essentially need, and that drives the environmental depletion. Currently, the textile industry is the third largest consumer of the water in the world due to the unsustainable need to continuously water cotton crops. We all like cotton shirts, but if you look at the cotton manufacturing process at the back end, you need minimum of 20,000 liters of waters to produce 1 kg of cotton. You look at how unsustainable the textile manufacturing step is really based. Okay, and this is where the 3D printing can easily help you to make a rapid prototyping and reduce the wastages and reduce the overall carbon footprint, which is really helping the global warming to a helping the global warming to be within the specific limits. It is really helpful to contain the world pollution. So 3D printing offers greatest advantage and perhaps the best solution to go forward with respect to sustainability. Okay, it avoids redundant water consumption and unwanted use of raw material in the different product and development stage. Okay, so this is very important, and we should really consider this, especially for the development of different novel textile designs. So with these 3 points which I am trying to communicate to you, I am ending the note here. We are still at the conceptual stage using this technology in fashion or in even textile perhaps. Though the 3D printing is really evolved in the last 30-40 years, with respect to textile industry, I think we are still in the nascent stage. But we should give a proper focus to this area by adding this into the curriculums, as well as students like you should take up the academic research to deeply explore the concept and to try to produce more meaningful products. And thank you very much for your time, and I once again thank Insta3D and Avinash Lingam Institute of Technology for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you and good luck.
Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar, The Future of 3D Printing in Textile and Clothing Industry. My name is Bashir, Managing Director of Insta3D Technologies. Today, I would like to give a talk on Future of 3D Printing in Textile and Clothing Industry. We, Insta3D Technologies, is a 3D printing manufacturing firm located our head office at Coimbatore, and we have branches at Kerala, Cochin, Malappuram, Calicut, and we are working on the innovative and cutting edge technologies of 3D printing technology. We have major verticals in medical, architecture, engineering, and educational sectors. 3D printing technology is one of the emerging and transformative technology. It is also known as the additive manufacturing. It is a simple manufacturing and prototyping tool in which all the segments can implement it in a very easy and simple manner. 3D printing technology is the next industrial revolution. As you all know, the first industrial revolution in fabric and textiles happened in 18th century. In this revolution, mankind started mass production of textile apparels. So this gave a lot of employment opportunities. About 35 millions of employment opportunities were generated during this industrial revolution. If you consider the Indian economy, major of its shares is in textile. After the agriculture, the major manufacturing sector was textile industry. Comparing its percentage, about 63% of its global share, it was contributed by Indian market. The major players were cotton, silk, etc. In India, both the agriculture and textile are mutually benefited. India is the second largest manufacturer of silk and cotton in global market. So this contribute a huge employment opportunity in India, and also a lot of industries, entrepreneurships has been initiated in regards of textile and fashion technology. So let us have a discussion, small overview regarding 3D printing technology. So in this technology, there are several processes which can be categorized based on its raw material, its process, and also its technology behind it. Currently, the major works or commercial products are made through FDM 3D printers, fused deposition modeling 3D printers. 3D printing technology. So in this FDM, fused deposition, or it is also called fused filament fabrication method, a spool of polymer material is fed into the machine, and this machine, by laying layer by layer, depositing material over and over, it creates a 3D object. Coming into 3D printing technology, now world focuses everything as a customized or personalized thing. Even if I need a pen, it should be customized or personalized one. It should make comfort for me. It should satisfy me 100%. So this concept of a customer revolutionized 3D printing technology in manufacturing segment. Today, I have some interesting factors to share with you regarding 3D printing technology in textile and fabric industries. So let me ask something. Could we make some clothes or fabric without sieving or weaving? Do you think that it is possible? Or could we make a textile fashion clothing without the limitation of sieving or weaving? Yes, of course, it is possible. It is possible with 3D printing technology. 3D printing technology does not require any of this kind of cotton or silk kind of material. It works completely and purely based on polymer material. And there are variety of polymers which can be utilized for this fabric manufacturing. And especially they are biocompatible to human skin. So there will be no irritations or discomfort of this material to human skin. In 3D printing technology, the materials which we are using can be a man-made or natural material. Currently, we are having the facility to make or process the material for 3D printing technology. Many researchers have been going in textile, medical, engineering regarding in terms of this material manufacturing, material processing for 3D printing technology. Even in medical segment. So coming to the end, 3D printing technology is an emerging and transformative technology that adopts a fundamental and a new approach to make new things. It can be textile, engineering, medical, automotive, anything, any segment, any field. Textile and apparel is one of the major area in which the 3D printing technology is believed can have a wide application. As we all know, the major share is in the textile industry considered to the global market. Companies such as N12 and a few new designers, creative designers, making their tool as 3D printing technology and started their research to pioneer their works of fabric or material creation or fashion technology for making new concepts of apparels and consumer products. So 3D printing is a major player for the game changer of textile and clothing industry. It will flourish the fashion technology and can bring 100% of customer satisfaction with personalization. So thank you for giving me this opportunity and thank you for your valuable time hearing this speech. And we all know future is an awesome place and we will meet it again. Thank you very much.
Denit Pelev. I've just graduated from Shankar College of Design. I wanted to create a ready-to-wear collection printed entirely at home, using printers that anyone can get. I've spent the past year searching for the best solution. I worked with leading experts in the field. I really like the result. It looks a little bit like lace. And it moves beautifully. Just imagine the potential. If you're called print your own jacket, traveling with no luggage, just print your clothes in the hotel room. Will we soon be able to design, share, and print our own clothes directly from home?
Now we are concluding this webinar here, and we all know that the webinar was short and it was not possible to discuss all the queries you might be having. Hence we request all of you to send your queries via WhatsApp or email. You can look onto the screen for the WhatsApp number and your email address. We shall be reverting back to you with the solutions as soon as possible. I, on behalf of Insta3D Technologies and the entire team together, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all of you for giving us your precious time and being a wonderful audience throughout. Thanking you and have a great day.